Do you need two fans? While we specialize in making our own inflatables, we know that most of the ones out in the wild are store-bought, like this classic T-Rex. Many people are looking for ways to modify or improve their purchased costumes, and one of the most common ways is to add another fan, like this. But should you add another fan? Well, today we're going to show you a quick way to determine if that will help or hurt the inflation of your costume, using just your smartphone and a plastic self-sealing bag. You may be wondering why we need to test anything at all. Aren't two fans always better than one? Well, not necessarily. Another fan is also another hole in your costume. And if one of the fans has a lower static pressure than the other, you will always be locked to the lower pressure of those two fans. What is static pressure, you ask? Well, a fan has two main attributes. Its flow and its static pressure. Flow is how much air the fan is able to move. The higher the flow, the faster it moves air. But high flow doesn't always mean that the fan would be a good fan for a costume. You need a fan that can maintain that pressure. Without that, the costume would not be able to hold its shape. So we are going to test how close the pressure in the costume is to the max static pressure that the fan can generate. First, we need to measure what the max static pressure is. To set up this experiment, we need to cut a hole and install the fan in the plastic bag to simulate the costume. Let's use the outer ring of the fan as a pattern, and I will quickly mark the inside of the ring. And then we will cut it out using our non-fabric scissors. And you can just actually slide the scissors, which is always my preferred way to do things. And then we install the fan. We are using an iPhone with Firefox, an app that gives you access to your phone's sensors. With this app, select pressure, and we should start recording now. And pop the phone in the bag, turn on the fan, and seal the bag. We'll want to give it a bit to reach its max pressure and kind of let it sit there for a second. But once we've reached max pressure, we can just open the bag back up, pause data collection, turn off the fan, and proceed to the next step. Now, put on the costume and remember to keep the phone with you. And with the T-Rexes, it's very important to actually put your hands in the hands. I'm going to actually tie off the hands on the inside here. So pay no attention to the fact that the T-Rex has no arms and looks a little funny. But I need to use my hands to start this data collection again. So now that I think we're fully inflated now. Yeah, this feels pretty good. So we will start the data collection again, and we will see where the pressure is now. And that is significantly lower. So this means that, yeah, we can add a second fan and see how that's gonna go. So when installing a second fan ring, it's best to determine where you want to do that first. I'm going to try to just put this at the same place as the fan is on the other side of the costume. So I've kind of folded it in half, and I've lined up this point here on this side and the other side of the costume. And I've lined up this seam a little bit. I'm trying to line up this seam. Fortunately, this doesn't have to be like super accurate. So we want to have this fan ring, this new fan ring that I've cut. You can do one that's closer to the color of your costume, but since it's on the inside, it doesn't really matter all that much. So I'm just gonna slide that in right there. And then I'm gonna take a few pins and pin it in place. Just pin it in place. Okay, once it's pinned, let's actually flip it inside out. Okay, so now we've just got one layer. We've got this fan ring pinned on right there. So I'm gonna just kind of place this down, make certain it's really flat. I think this could get repinned a little bit. I've picked a thread color that's a good similar color. Okay. And this is the original fan ring. You can see that it is sewn on the inside and the outside. And then this is the new fan ring that I just installed. And we just need to cut out the center there. And it will work just as well, if not better, than the original. And it will allow us to have two fans now. So let's go test and see how that's going. So we'll install this second fan. And we're gonna do this pressure test. Again, let's go inside, all the way up. Dual fans while we inflate. See how much faster that is? Wow, so fast. It already feels like there's higher pressure in here. And taking pressure sample again. Nice. That's a significant boost. We're not at the max pressure for the fan, so you might say, well, why don't you add a third or a fourth fan? Maybe we'll try that later. See if there's a limit to the number of fans. You don't necessarily want this to be at the max pressure for the fan. I've been in some really small costumes that don't have a lot of seams, and you can really feel it in your ears, and it's not that fun. But this second fan definitely helped. We have better pressure. The costume feels a little bit better. Definitely inflates faster, and it will definitely inflate faster if you are dancing around and lose some air, and it'll allow you to pop back up just a little bit faster. And as I said, the pressure was higher, so adding that second fan was the right thing to do. And that's how you can determine if you would benefit from a second fan in your costume. Stay tuned for more inflatable tips, tricks, and experiments. Goodbye!